What exactly are we gonna do today?
Today on YouTube Spitnuff. I'm gonna start with my beautiful introduction, which
Hmm.
is da 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 da. No, I can't do that. I'll get sued by McDonald's. We are gonna do the Absolute Universe, which, not to confuse you with their Absolute line of hardcover, humongous comic version of their stuff, but they're making a universe called the Absolute Universe, similar to Marvel's Ultimate Universe, pretty much exactly the same idea. Except this one, I think, is going to cross with the regular universe first, and
Yeah.
then it's going to be its own thing.
Well, like they're gonna do the same thing. It seems that Marvel did, but like in a much more abridged way, where like with Hickman's Ultimate Invasion, it starts in the main in Earth 616, the main Marvel Comics universe, and then they come up with an in-story reason for there being a new universe. And in this one, it's it sounds so goofy to me, but I'm willing to give it a try. It's gonna be like a two-sided book that you can start at either end, and it's going to be two stories, one about the main universe, which is built with Superman energy, and then the other universe, which is built with the Darkseid energy. And it's yeah, I don't know, this is what they're doing.
What?
This is what they're doing. um and apparently it's like Darkseid discovering that there's not just one Earth anymore. Now there are two, and it's like yin and yang. His is like the more dark and am I allowed to curse? I don't even
Yeah,
remember.
fuck it.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just like the more dark and gritty, edgy, fucked up universe where because it's based off of Darkseid's energy, things are harder for the heroes.
Well, I
Yeah,
kind
I
of
don't
like
know.
I like that idea because um, recently, with like Dawn of DC and all the stuff, there's been some dark shit, but it's mostly been upbeat for the most part. Especially Superman, Action
Hmm.
Comics, even Green Arrow, Green Lantern. Like all of these have been upbeat stories about the heroes overcoming their greatest villains and all that. So to have the opposite side almost be, no pun intended, rebirth of a darker version. I'm eager to see that because,
Rebirth.
well, like I told you, like the Superman images, which I'll put up during this video, they look like this darker version of Superman. But I don't think that always equals to evil Superman. A darker Superman
No, definitely
story,
not.
yeah, it can still be a hopeful Superman or normal Superman with a dark setting or situation or plot or whatever. And it looks like from the images of Wonder Woman, she's kind of more like she has tattoos and shit.
Yeah. So like
Like
her
God of
whole
War.
yeah, she's they've given a little info. She in this universe she's the daughter of Ares, so she's the daughter of the god of war. So there we go. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe she's the daughter of Ares, and she is raised in Hades, which is like hell. And she's a warrior, but also a witch. Uh, yeah, like she's gonna use magic and stuff.
Okay, all right. Well, I didn't know that. That's
Hmm.
definitely different. That's probably the we've seen the images of some stuff. So Batman is pretty much Batman, but darker. Uh,
And bigger.
and way bigger, like very very muscular.
He's 6'6" out of the suit, 7 feet tall in the suit.
That's fucking insane. You know what's so weird is because I did not like the suit for Batman vs Superman, which is much bigger than his normal stuff. But
Yeah.
I like the absolute look because with comic medium, when they look
Hmm.
that big, it still can look cool because it's in this fantasy looking world.
Hmm.
And all the images I've seen, and we talked about the other day with the cape, it's kind of bringing back that late 80s, early 90s like gothic cape, but it's as
Yeah.
a weapon, which as far as I know, I've never seen it used like this.
Yeah. Me neither.
Yeah, I seen him use it like to cover someone's face or something to fight, but I've never seen him use it as like literal weapon. And I've never seen him quite as vicious as he is here, while still being supposedly a good guy. Right? You say he had an axe on one of these images.
Yeah. So I know I talked a lot of shit, like well, a little shit about the whole dark side energy thing, but I am excited about this line. I think it's really cool, and I'm most excited about Batman, even though like if you told me about this and you didn't give me any context, I would not be. But before we get into that, yeah, his bat symbol, which is basically just like a rectangle. I love it though. I don't know, it's weird.
It's
Like
different.
it it is. He could detach it from his chest and wield it as a fucking axe.
That's pretty amazing.
It's crazy, and like I love it, but it just makes me wonder if he's gonna have the no kill rule, because it's hard to be non-lethal with an axe, you know?
I think I'd be okay with him
Hmm.
killing in this universe. If as long as he's still a hero, just kind of a
Hmm.
dark vigilante, but as long as he's still that, killing in this universe, from the sounds of it, I wouldn't mind, because it sounds like the villains and even the regular bad guys will be much more vicious in this
Yeah.
universe. Um, and I am excited for Batman. Probably the most. I'm most intrigued by probably Superman, but I'm most excited because I think Batman's going to be a home run. Um,
Yeah,
you got
I'm excited for middle class Batman too. That's gonna be
yeah,
cool. You
yeah,
know,
because they kind of did that with the whole he lost all his money, but then he got back his money. So I mean,
and like, the thing is, like, it doesn't fundamentally change much about him. Like at this point, he has the Bat family. He has all the stuff his wealth built. Like having him be like middle class or even like poor. I just assume he's middle class because he's an engineer. And having him grow up in the city around people instead of being like isolated, I think it's going to make for a much more interesting Batman.
yeah,
Like Snyder said that his allies and enemies will have grown up beside him, and he grew up in Crime Alley. So it's going to be cool to see him like actually like as a son of Gotham City as opposed to like a kind of like a detached protector.
yeah, almost like Spider-Man, where the reason why Spider-Man defends people so much because he literally lives where he's defending the people he grew up with. He didn't grow up rich
Yeah,
or
yeah.
anything. And like you said, Scott Snyder. I think that's a big reason I'm pretty excited. This is to me a Scott Snyder with a lot of experience now. He's also been off of DC for like 4 years, thank God, and coming
Yeah.
back with basically them probably saying, "Go have fun." Is refreshing, because that's how I feel like they kind of did with New 52. And even if you hear some stories of him fighting
Hmm.
back with them, a lot of those ideas were his ideas. So to see
Yeah.
him being free range again, I think will be fun, because I think he kind of lost it with like Justice League and Metal and all that, because
Yeah.
he was trying to do something that wasn't him. And this I feel like is him. And do you know the
Yes.
artist?
Oh yeah, Nick Dragotta
Oh, okay.
from
So
East of West.
yeah, so oh wow. Okay, so the action scenes are going to be amazing at least.
Dude.
That's a
Yeah.
good thing.
And I feel like I always liked Nick Dragotta, but I feel like his work looks so much better in the little bit we've seen. Like sometimes I always liked, I thought his designs were crazy good, his action scenes were dynamic and his world building was good, but I felt like his faces kind of suffered a little bit and felt a little too alien,
Hmm.
and they look a lot better in like the little they've shown. It seems like he's bringing his A game. It almost looks like manga inspired. I'm fucking hyped.
Yeah, I
And I
mean,
like that it's a young Bruce
yeah,
who's
and
angry.
also with Scott Snyder manga, he's a huge manga fan. So
Hell
I
yeah.
like to see this synergy, because there's things that I love in manga that I wish would be more in Western comics, and same thing vice versa with
Hmm.
manga. And so seeing that being brought in here, and seeing all these images that you've shown me lately, this is kind of more an action, or it looks action, but I just like the overall feel of it, the darkness and everything. Um,
Yeah.
and then the only images we've seen, or I've seen,
Mhm.
of Wonder Woman was just that like two images, like the wallpaper one, and
Yeah.
so I don't know much about that other than, do we know the writer? Is it
Yeah,
Kelly
yeah, it's
Thompson?
Kelly Thompson.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I mean, to me, all of her work at worst is good or decent, and at best is really good. I feel like if she channels like her Black Widow, or her recent culling, I don't know
Birds
if
of
you
Prey.
Birds of Prey was really enjoyable. The problem with Birds of Prey is it's a team dynamic, and
Mm-hmm.
while I like that, I feel like she's best when she's on a single or two characters.
Mm.
Except for the culling. I don't know if you read that. It won an Eisner
No.
last year. Really good.
No, no. Looking
I
it up
read it
right now.
just recently. Really, really, really enjoyable. So I think she's on a roll right now, and taking a character like Wonder Woman, who she never really wrote, is in a darker one, is going to be fun. So I'm excited just based on her writing it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but the most I'm excited or intrigued by is Superman, because Superman is either, for me, written really well or
Yeah.
just kind of eh. And lately, he's been written pretty well, but I really want a darker story for Superman without Superman being super dark. Um, kind of
Hmm.
like, was it Earth One? Was that the line that came out like 20 years ago?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I like the idea of Earth One, but at the same time, the situations in it were really cool. But Superman was kind of not as interesting as I want him to be, not as hopeful.
Yeah.
Um, and
I
this
also didn't like
Superman,
Krypton in that. I don't know. I didn't like how, like, the way they set up this villain destroying Krypton makes Superman's story more of a revenge story,
yeah,
and it didn't feel that's not really Superman to me. Even
yeah.
like a different take.
Now this Superman is supposedly very. I know they're going for more of the alien side
Yeah,
of
yeah.
it, like focusing on that he's alien, because every Superman story is basically him landing on Earth and becoming like us, but still
Hmm.
being an alien. And I think this story is going to be alien first, like you said. Maybe he doesn't get there right away.
Yeah.
I think that would be really cool.
I think it like he's going to have grown up on Krypton, and then his home was destroyed, and that's what I suspect. And it's going to be him like learning to integrate. And I also think that like where he lands is going to be a lot less hospitable. I just have a feeling that like they're going to be less welcoming, and it's going to be him. I don't know. Like I think that instead of being instilled with all of the traits that make him Superman in the beginning, I think we're going to see him like struggle to obtain them through like rare interactions. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think what would be a kind of a cool idea. I love that idea where you're saying is like he comes in later. I like
Hmm.
that. And what I would
Hmm.
like to see by the end of the arc is that Kara did come. She didn't get delayed. She came when she was a baby, because that was originally,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
she
I like that.
integrated, and she's a part of just the regular, but she doesn't want to be an alien because of how people treat other people. She sees it,
Ooh,
and
okay. This
yeah.
is good. Sign me up.
Yeah, like I think that would be a cool dynamic, and also making Supergirl prevalent to that story. You know, I
Hmm.
love Supergirl, but I feel like the writers just forget she's there. So I would love to see that. But I really, really like the design of Superman here. At first, I was like,
Hmm.
and then I was like, this is pretty different. And the cape idea is weird, right? That you tell me it's like
It's
the
the dust of
ashes.
Krypton.
That,
Yeah,
that's
it's the
pretty
dust of
crazy.
Krypton.
I feel like everybody's getting like capes that do shit. You fucking
Yeah,
use
I mean
as a weapon.
his just makes him sad probably. Like it'd be like if your house burned down, you're like, yeah, I'm wearing a coat made out of my fucking roof.
It talks. It tells you, oh, remember your daddy? And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I like, Jason Aaron's the writer.
Hmm.
And Jason Aaron, I think we both agree, when he's on it, when he's good, when he has the right comic, one of the best.
Hmm.
When he
Hell yeah.
doesn't, not so much.
Don't get me
But
started.
yeah, but I'm really hoping this is like Punisher Max, not in the sense that violent, but the
Superman kills everyone.
the perfect fit. Like I think, and I'll say, I know a lot of people think Garth Ennis is the greatest Punisher writer, but Jason Aaron's Punisher Max is to me the greatest Punisher story of all time. I think it just has a beginning, a middle, an end, and it's amazing. And we were talking about how many issues this should be if these are, or no, we were talking about Ultimate, but if these are like a finite, like 50 40 issue stories, I
Hmm.
feel like they could do a lot with that in terms of having a beginning, middle, and end. And I think Jason
Yeah.
Aaron, he gave a little bit of Superman with his Brainiac story, not Brainiac, Bizarro story. And
Hmm.
some people didn't like Bizarro. I'm not the hugest fan of Bizarro, but his Clark was super good. It's the Clark that I like, where he has all this power and he feels compelled to help people because that's who he is. And I
Yeah.
hope that kind of still gets here. But also I want to see an angrier one where like he's maybe helping people and people just shoot at him for no reason because he's just an alien. And,
Yeah.
get that dynamic going.
I hope they lean into, and it seems like they are, the like the immigrant aspect of Superman's story.
Yes.
But I hope that like as a change of pace, instead of being welcomed into somewhere new and like integrating well. I really hope that it's him learning how hard it is, but to integrate into a new place and how like unkind people can be, but then also those rare glimpses of acceptance and refuge like can like leave such an impact. I really hope they do stuff like that. And
Yeah.
uh yeah, dude, Jason Aaron is dope when he's on it. His Thor, the God Butcher arc is my favorite Thor comic ever.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Other Bastards.
Southern Bass, Scalped. Like when he
Yeah.
is in the zone of writing the character, he's really good.
Yeah.
And then it just depends on what type of character. Hopefully, no team based. Doesn't seem
Yeah.
that. And I think that's fine. Some writers just can't write teams, and then there's some
Yeah.
writers that when they're on a solo character that they love, they can create something magical. And due to this being darker, I've always said Jason Aaron. I know some people are like, oh well, he sticks to gritty, but he's good at gritty. That's what he made his name off of.
And he's stepping out of that comfort zone right now with Batman Off-World, and it's one of my if it sticks to landing, it'll be one of my favorite Batman stories ever made. Full stop. It's so good.
That's a good example where like it's not gritty, but it also has some sense of like stakes, and I think that's what Jason Aaron's good at. I would love to see that for Superman. Now those are the three that were announced, right? Those are the only.
They announced more. So they announced Jeff Lemire on Flash, and it's going to be Wally West, separate with an origin separate from Barry Allen, and he's going to be younger. And then they announced that Denny's Camp is writing Martian Manhunter, and Al Ewing is doing Green Lantern. And then there are two more books waiting in the wings, and I think that they may have slipped who the writers are, or it's a rumor, but every single rumor has been correct so far. And I like who they're choosing for one of the writers, and I'm not familiar with the other one.
Well,
but
Jeff Lemire on Flash, would be amazing because I love his family stuff. But you're saying it's a younger Wally, which is interesting. But I wonder if we'll still. I feel like Jeff Lemire is really good with relationships. They feel really real and normal and not like over the top. And so I would love to see, even if they're not a family yet, if he has a wife or whatever, that dynamic. But most of all, I'm excited that it's separate from Barry, which I think is a really like brave choice, because I mean a lot of what Wally started for, or why he became, is because of Barry. It's almost like having Venom without Spider-Man, and that doesn't always work. But I'm pretty excited. I think Jeff Lemire's another writer where when he's on the right character, literally can make the character. I think he wrote one of the greatest Green Arrow stories of all time. So that's exciting, and I love Flash, and I'm assuming it's going to be a little bit gritty. Because this whole universe sounds that way. Martian Manhunter.
And he's very young. He's very young.
He looks like a teenager.
He looks like a teenager in the image they showed. Like I'll just send it to you right now, but I'm almost they haven't confirmed it, but he looks really young.
Interesting.
Like this dude. Yeah, he's a kid. He's a kid.
Well, that should be interesting because that's the kid perspective in this universe. There's so far nothing else is announced that they're younger. No Teen Titans or anything like that. So
I just sent it to you on Discord.
So if we have Flash, then Martian Manhunter. That's a really strange pick. He must have had a hell of a pitch. Because I feel like you're having the Superman alien angle.
Yes.
What is Martian Manhunter other than making him evil, making him have he's not the last Martian. His whole race finds humanity as a threat. Maybe they're building up, something like that. I think would be interesting, having a villain perspective of all these characters, because Martian Manhunter's always kind of that symbol of like straightforward leadership, protecting. I would like to see the opposite side of that for just going crazy with different styles.
Well, I get where you're coming from because like it does seem redundant
Yeah,
when Superman's going to seems to be covering that like fish out of water, like stranger in a strange land immigrant story. It seems like and like and also a survivor of a genocide. What if what if this Martian Manhunter is a white Martian and he's been like brainwashed or like indoctrinated to invade Earth,
infiltrate.
and like like maybe slowly becomes good or at least ambiguous and doesn't and rejects his mission later, and it's like like an indoctrination story, and it's like about like rejecting corrupting like indoctrination you had as a kid, like like whether it's like crazy fundamentalist religion or
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
cult, you know
Oh, I like that.
could be a cool angle.
That
It
would
seems
be
like
cool.
something he would do.
Yeah, yeah. I mean that can stick to his character because of his change to being like, oh no, I don't want to follow this
Hmm.
mission, but also very different origin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. I like that idea. Um,
Like,
and
what if when he transforms and shapeshifts, like he can't help but like get some of the empathy and that humans have, or something like that, and like it starts to override his original plan. I don't know.
yeah, no, that would be cool.
Irony.
The only other I thing I can think of is similar to that idea where he infiltrates, but he is the last Martian, and he
Hmm.
comes to Earth. He changes his appearance and just lives with us and becomes some type of major politician. And when Superman
Hmm.
comes, he's like, "No, this dude's the," because he doesn't want it to, another alien to be in there.
Hmm.
That you get that idea of like, no, no, we have to stop him. We have to get rid of him, and you get that more political angle, which is kind
Yeah.
of what he's doing with Ultimates. I mean, it's an action comic, but it is very political, which is really,
Yeah.
really interesting how he's setting that up. So I could see something like that would be pretty cool. Um,
Did you
and
read issue 3?
not yet, no.
Dude, it's so good. It's sad.
I'm gonna hopefully get it today. And then there's what was the last comic they announced? Oh, Green Lantern.
Hmm.
Um, I don't really like his All the Gods Are Dead, and so that's the only thing I can relate to with space. Um,
Okay.
but one thing I do like about this is that it's Green Lantern. It's so fun in the newest run. They actually address the whole. Well, there's like 8 of you Earthlings, and we're not going to all keep you here, so you're all going to get separated, and they all get
Right.
separated. And so I like that they're like there's a clean slate. There's not like 10 human Green Lanterns.
There are 3.
There are 3, and what I think is that with Green Lantern, you have that space cop thing going on. I
Hmm.
want them to emphasize how scary that can be again. Like they don't really do that much. It's usually like, oh, they go in and they take care of business. I want to
Yeah.
see, like them go to a planet and half of them get massacred and scared, and that's the whole point is that they're supposed to like protect all these planets, but nobody has died recently except like when there's like a big war.
Well, we don't even know if they're going to go off planet. We don't even know what their mission is. We don't know anything about it. He said he's reinventing it. He
Uh-huh.
said that he said the only thing he's keeping. Actually, I'm not sure. I know that he's keeping. It's going to be 3 protagonists. It's going to be Hal, John Stewart, and Sojourner from Far Sector. And we don't even know if they're going to have rings or anything yet. We just know that they are going to be like he's going to explore the concept of willpower, and it's going to be like a mystery, and that's really all we know. So we don't even know if they're going to have rings powering them.
Interesting. So that's just going right back to like it could be anything, just because it's called Green
Yeah,
Lantern. You can wear green shirts with a lantern on it. So,
they could literally have a lantern.
yeah. Well, they do have lanterns. They just pull them out of
You
their
know what I
ass.
mean?
So,
Though they could like hold them around and.
okay, so we have those, and then 2 unannounced projects. But
Mhm.
so do we have any clue what they are? Even rumors?
So, so the rumors are just on the writers.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not sure if it was an official announcement or rumors, but I know that one of them is I don't know how to pronounce his last name. It's Pornsak Pichesote.
Oh yeah, yeah,
He
yeah,
did Good Asian.
yeah,
Yeah, his stuff is good. I mean that series is good anyway,
yeah.
from what I
He does a
read.
lot of good horror stuff. Yeah.
Then the other one is a woman. What is her name? It's something Chu. Oh no, wow. It's Shay Grayson. I don't know. I've never heard of her before. She has a book called Good Deeds. Dark Spaces, Good Deeds. Oh, so she may be a student of Scott Snyder's because Dark
Oh,
Spaces
oh,
is his imprint.
I read that. That actually takes place in St. Augustine. That was a good
Oh,
story.
dude,
Yeah.
nice.
So
It was
interesting.
good.
Yeah, it was creepy. Very creepy. Which hopefully that means she's writing something like Swamp Thing, or Justice League Dark. I find that weird if they bring Justice League Dark so soon. Constantine. Um, Anything creepy. She does a lot of that's a lot of like creepy, dark
Yeah.
magic, voodoo, demons. It's definitely a dark story, and it's cool because she did a lot of history based
hmm
stuff on St. Augustine about the curses and stuff here. So,
Uh, ooh, dude, she could totally put her on Swamp Thing.
yeah,
There we go.
exactly. Like, why the fuck is there no Swamp Thing right now? But I would love a Swamp Thing in this universe. I mean, Swamp Thing's already fucking horrifying, but bringing back that body horror shit, so, like, just sign me up. I love his body horror ways.
Yeah, and like they could literally do whatever they want. So you're saying that she like explores history and magic. They could totally change his origin,
Yeah,
and they could really lean into like the history of the one place that this new Swamp Thing is from. It could be anyone. It could be a man. It could be a woman. It,
yeah.
it could be someone who's been around for centuries or just like fucking 15.
Yeah, one good thing
Ah,
about Swamp Thing, even if they change everything, is that even with
mm-hmm.
the regular Swamp Thing, he's been so many different entities,
Yeah.
and I love that about Swamp Thing is that it's really the green is what he is. So you got the Swamp Thing, and then you said who was the other writer?
Pornsack, Piche Sote.
So I've read
I
some.
think I'm probably butchering that.
Wait, is that the guy who did the horror one? The one with like the cave? I forgot what
He did the Good Asian, the detective comic.
I didn't read that one, but I felt like he did one for that one comics that makes like the super large edition graphic novels.
Oh, he
Uh,
did Infidel as well. I read Infidel back in the day.
is that it? I remember reading a
That's the
comic.
Haunted Apartment. Yeah, no, he did Infidel. He did some stuff. He did Dead Boy Detectives and The Good Asian.
Okay, that boy was pretty good. It wasn't my favorite, but it was a good. Okay, so he does like detective horror. So he'd probably be a
Mhm.
good fit for like Constantine. I could see that, or Detective Monkey, Monkey Detective.
Oh, yeah,
Uh,
Detective Chimp.
yeah, Detective Chimp.
Mhm.
But so what would you want? What characters would you want to see in this universe?
I just want more Animal Man all the time, and I think that this would be like, and I fucking love Animal
I
Man,
do too.
and this is I'm genuinely excited. I'm very hyped for this universe. I'm so pumped for Batman. Like I'm on a hype train like I haven't been in
Yeah.
years. Because it reminds me so much of Zero Year, which I love. And but this is the Edgeverse. This is the edgiest universe,
Yeah.
and I feel like I would love to see Buddy Baker, the Animal Man, he's such a gentle guy. He's vegetarian and an actor and a family man, and plenty of animals are fucking carnivores,
Yeah.
and I would love to see a more violent and aggressive um, aspect of the animal kingdom, and I think it could be explored in a very interesting way.
Yeah. I mean, Animal Man
Let me
always,
write it.
always. Um, I would love more Animal Man, especially if, like you said, he
hmm
maybe isn't more like forest or jungles, like more into the animal area instead of in the city. That would also separate it from all these other comics.
hmm
Yeah, Animal Man would be awesome. I would like a Constantine because I would like a
Yeah,
Constantine, like a true hard-boiled detective Constantine story. Like
yeah,
we haven't had that in a while, and even the recent ones have been good, but also overly complicated sometimes for no reason,
hmm
and just so much unneeded like like I know he does magic, but we don't need to know all the like all the jumbled, like all the things he does. Just give me a fucking hard boiled little bit of magic and fucked up shit that he does, because he's such a
Yeah.
multi-layered kind of scumbag character. But my favorite.
Yeah.
I want a
Wait.
fucking Green Arrow.
Oh yeah, of course. I can't believe I literally forgot he existed. I'm sorry.
How fucking dare you? No, funny enough, I want a Green Arrow
Okay.
that is similar to what he is, except he's kind of
Mhm.
like not as unhinged, but kind of like the Riddler. He kills all these rich, taking from the poor people, but literally kills them.
Okay, so
And,
just like a more violent. Okay, okay.
yeah,
Oh, I see why I said Riddler, like the Batman, Matt Reeves one.
yeah. Or if he doesn't kill them, he doesn't just take their money. He makes their lives fucking miserable. And
Mhm.
he is rich, or his dad's rich, and his dad's not dead. His dad's like one of these big fucking rich pieces of shit that makes everybody, and he doesn't kill him because he uses his resources to make everybody else, all these other rich people, and he uses his contacts to ruin them. And I just want to see that, like, to the extreme, like to the like the craziest, like, liberal Green Arrow, but becoming a monster himself. Like, some of these people didn't do anything to deserve this.
Right, right. Just like being classist in a way that he thinks that all rich people are unethical.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
thinks like they're all like his dad, and they're not.
right.
And I think that would be really cool because
Hmm.
Green Arrow, we do that sometimes, but not really. Like, we haven't really
Right.
tackled that in a long time. Like, he's been fighting fucking alternate dimension, multi-dimension shit in the last 20
Yeah.
issues, which I'm enjoying. But that's as a Green Arrow fan that's reading him for years now. I want to go back to the roots of what made Green Arrow literally, like, they had a comic with him and Hal going on the road arguing about politics, and that hasn't happened in 35 years.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
want that.
And that is iconic. I know what you're talking about. I think it would be cool to like it would be cool to make him like a sort of like either Jigsaw for the rich, which is basically what I'm getting, or maybe like a terrorist, uh, like a terrorist as well. I feel like you can do a lot of different things if he's like a political activist, like you're
Yeah.
mentioning. You could even do crazy shit like replace Black Canary as his love interest with Poison Ivy and have them be like really toxic for each other,
Yeah.
like two political activists that take things in really violent directions.
Yeah.
Or I mean I don't know. I mean I'm just being real. I'm just not a Green Arrow guy. When you said Riddler Green Arrow, I was just cracking up because I love the Batman and I love their interpretation of the Riddler. But he is an incel, and
Oh,
I
yeah,
just
yeah.
picture like an incel Green Arrow who like LARPs like as like a ranger from the old days and is just like a mouth breathing like
Well, no, I'm saying
that's
like
fun.
yeah, he's like the beginning of the Batman.
No, I know he goes after corruption and
Yeah,
the political
yeah.
figures. I know, but I couldn't help but picture Green Arrow as just like a big fucking nerd.
I mean, we could do that. That would be opposite of what he always is. I mean, this guy fucking bangs everything. So to have him literally like a loser, a loner, would be
Yeah.
totally opposite.
What if they do a different time period?
Yeah, I just want a Green
And
Arrow.
it's like Green Arrow in the past. Ooh.
Yeah, just give me any Green Arrow comic. But that's what my most wanted is. Other than with the Batman, I'm sure we'll have a lot of the Bat characters, but I will always accept a Batgirl. But my Aquaman story, DC. If you ever want to hear it, I could pitch it. I made a fucking great Aquaman alternate reality.
Pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I heard it.
Yeah, I mean, DC, if you're listening, I know you're not, but if you
I,
are,
I think we're getting an Aquaman book. I think he's going to be one of the books that gets announced.
I mean, I feel like it would be a waste of opportunity. One, because there hasn't been a fucking Aquaman like mainline story for like 5 years, and two,
Yeah.
imagine reinventing literally the King of Sea. Like, you can do so much cool shit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we need that. We need that. I mean, Namor is a perfect example recently, who's got
Mhm.
like multiple like smaller miniseries that have been fucking great.
Yeah, and then also just appearing in other books and being great in them. Whenever Hickman writes them, especially Hickman and Chip Zdarsky
Yeah.
write good Namor, and
I
I love
love
his
it.
design now. I love the
All
the
black.
Gothic warrior
Yeah.
king.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
looks
yeah.
cool though. It looks different and cool.
It
And
looks awesome.
give me Aquaman with no arms. Fuck taking one arm, just no arms, just fins.
Just a
But
fish.
just a big ass fin spider. But I would love to see a more deformed Aquaman, like from the water
Bitten by
pressure.
a radioactive fish.
But you know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't even
Oh,
have
I
to
hear you.
be
Or alien.
yeah more alien looking because if we're going with that, like this world is
Hmm.
kind of more on edge.
Hmm.
I think that would be cool, like having a disgusting looking Aquaman because he's so fucking handsome all the time.
Yeah.
Give me an ugly ass
Like
nasty
a fucking hideous fucking Cthulhu HP Lovecraft fish person.
yeah, and I mean with that you can have it where Superman understands where he's coming from because he's so alien as well.
Yeah.
You can
Listen,
really
you're
do
ugly, but
yeah,
we
give
have
us a
hope.
good reason why we'll make a Justice League in this universe, which undoubtedly will come within a year or
Yeah.
two, undoubtedly.
So they said, and I'm happy about this. They said that they're not going to cross over together for a while.
Yeah,
But then they also said they have a 2-year plan, so maybe it's at the end of the second year they cross over.
yeah,
I I really wish that we just got like tight stories that had no connection at all. They just had like that they gave writers carte blanche to tell the stories they've always wanted to tell from beginning to end over the course of a few years. But I get why they don't do that because if you connect to the main universe, then people that are invested in the main universe are going to buy it, you know. So I'm a little bummed about
I think there's room to do that, like tell a
it.
story but also connect. I feel like Immortal Hulk, pretty much whole
Yeah.
run, with the exception of that one tiny crossover with Avengers in the beginning. It wasn't even a
Mhm.
crossover; it was like a cameo of them getting fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, and also yeah, it still got to tell its complete story. They come back at the end though too.
Yeah, but so like I think they can do that, and I think something like this when they do crossover, whether it's a big event for a month,
Hmm.
it sounds like they're still in their own universe. Like maybe they'll cross over to fight two Darkseids because that's just would make sense, and that forms the Justice League of this universe. Um, you know,
I have an answer for this. So they announced that Darkseid exists across every like. There's only one incarnation across the entire multiverse of Darkseid. It's just him,
just
no matter where you go. What's up?
Darkseid is just one.
Yeah, yeah. Darkseid is a Discord mod of the multiverse and cannot be replaced.
So what I assume they're probably gonna do is, and this sounds a little cheesy, but from what you told me in the beginning, is that within these 2 years, all this negative energy is giving him more and more power as he's like absorbing it. Because if this is gonna be an edgier world where Superman comes down and he wants to help people, but fucking people are trying to shoot him and call him a racist and all this shit, like that negativity is building to help Darkseid. Where the other side of the universe is trying to be uplifting and helping, and Darkseid is like, give me more of that energy, I'm gonna fuck this world up. And then these guys, these fucked up Batman takes his axe and leads the charge after 2 years with all these darker heroes to beat the shit out of the darkest Darkseid. Something like that is probably what they're building towards, which I'm okay with. I like those big bombastic events as long as they don't suck. And so and I know you're not liking Absolute Power, but I am really liking the feel, the pacing.
All right.
It feels
all right.
like everybody's getting fucked up, and every time that they're like, oh, we got a plan, we're working together, no, we're gonna fuck you up more, and they're like, oh no, John's coming back, no, he's back. Like I like that feeling. Like Mark Waid definitely is putting emphasis on Amanda Wallace being in complete control. Even Bruce is like, oh shit, she's won. Like it's not a will she won't she, she's already they got that Watchmen moment. If they build these universes up where this Darkseid is like this ultimate omni power and he's building off of this dark energy, I think it would be cool to see a Batman like this and this big fucking hulking Batman being like, you don't
Hell
kill?
yeah.
How do you do anything? It'd be nice to see that back and forth of like totally opposite people.
I just don't even understand how he couldn't kill people. Like he's huge. His fist is like twice the size of someone's face. If he tries to let you live, he's gonna punch you in the face and break your fucking spine somehow.
I assume
like
if he doesn't kill, he's got to at least like they're not getting back up. He's gonna
Yeah,
break
dude.
their like arm for good, like, or rip off their arm and leave them just like there's no arm, and he won't be able to steal again.
But he probably fucking eats everyone. That's how he's so jacked,
Just
dude.
eats
That's
their
how
arms,
he gets his protein.
turns into a literal fucking bat and eats. I think with a new universe like that, we get a lot of opportunity to try new things, and with the Ultimate Universe, we're doing that now where we have that familiar feel, but there's
Yeah,
some radical changes with the Ultimates, especially X-Men, majorly.
yeah.
And I'm okay with that because I'm
I
like,
don't,
oh,
yeah. Go
this
ahead.
is a really cool way to do something, but also have that familiarity where we're like, oh, like you said, the suit with Spider-Man, you're like, oh, that's Venom, and I'm like, oh, and then you're like, oh, well, that's a cool idea though.
Yeah.
Not to spoil it for people who haven't read Ultimate Spider-Man.
It's totally going to be Venom.
Yeah.
They set up the Green Goblin, Venom, and Superior Spider-Man.
Oh,
One thing I really like though is like I'm not like at first I was apprehensive that they're for the same reasons I was about the Absolute Universe, where I wish that instead of doing like a momentous event building into a new universe, they can just build something new without justifying it and just tell the stories they want to tell. But then like I fucking love the themes and premise behind the Ultimate Universe, where it kind of reflects our world a little bit, where like we all feel that we were destined for a better, brighter future, but somewhere along the way things went wrong and evil people are in charge. And I love that. It's such a good premise for a superhero world. And I love that. I hope they do this for the Absolute Universe. There are like irreversible changes that are happening, and they're like they reverberate throughout the books. It's so cool. I love
and
it.
I think the big thing that the Ultimate Universe has going for it overall is that we haven't seen him in a while, but the Maker is the villain, and he's a great
Yes.
villain. Like
Yeah.
he's like when all they're like, oh, we got these plans, and then they fucking get foiled within 5 issues. And the Maker's like, no, you're not gonna foil me now. Maybe in a few years, but right now, I'm still ahead of you. And if Darkseid, if he's the big bad of these two universes, Darkseid can be pretty intimidating. He's strong as Superman, or even stronger in some stories. He's smart. He's not like a dumb villain.
Yeah.
And for him to do something that threatens both these universes with all these heroes, I think could be really interesting. And I see where you're coming from. Kind of like you wish it was like Earth One or the original Ultimate, where it's just a new universe and no
Yes.
ties.
And like I don't know, like I'm super excited for the Absolute Universe. Like I'm gonna criticize it a little bit right now, but I'm fucking hyped for everyone watching. But at the same time, I feel like we have Darkseid is doing the darkest, darky, evil Darkseid stuff ever. Like we have stories like that once every 2 years, and it's just really tedious, you know. Like we've had him as a villain so many times,
Yeah.
and it's hard to get excited or to view him as a credible threat. I don't know. Um, I always felt like he's unlike Thanos, who's like an actual person. But I always felt like he should have been a more like primal elemental force, and his design should reflect that. So I don't know. Maybe if they change his design and change his motivation a little bit, it could be more compelling. But
Yeah,
I'm more excited for just the individual books, the new takes on
yeah,
like Batman and Superman.
yeah. I am too, and yeah, I'm hoping that it has a similar effect to the Ultimate Universe, where right now I feel like they're all individually interesting, and maybe one doesn't interest you as much or whatever,
Mhm.
but that's okay because
Yeah,
they're written different ways, but they still have the same vibe. I feel like every Ultimate book feels like it's in this Ultimate Universe, and if
yeah,
Absolute can do that too, where Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman feel like in a universe the same, but they're very different. Like Wonder
yeah,
Woman being more this punk feel, Batman being more this gothic, dark take, and Superman being more of this like regular day trying to fit in. We get these different tones, but all in the same universe.
yeah.
That's what I'm hoping for. And yeah, what would you say? I know you're most interested in Batman, but
Yeah.
what would you say is the key success for this universe? I want to say that like to stay where Earth One kind of just
Like,
died.
like what they need to do.
Yeah, beyond the initial release, like how to keep the momentum.
I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say. I think it's just to tell good stories. I think to just let these writers tell good stories, to let them really explore these new takes on these characters, and to not let this overarching universal plan detract too much from that. And then also, this universal plan needs to be compelling. Like I wasn't interested at first with the Ultimates doing that, but then like it resonated so deeply with me and a lot of readers, and the hook where each issue is 1 month and it's a
That's
countdown to
so
the
good.
return of the Maker. It's like fucking a Majora's Mask in spandex is fucking awesome. It's so cool. It really instills like a sense of dread. But I don't know. I mean, I would say just tell good stories. I think I'm not. I think they should be careful how quickly they expand. You know, like uh, we already have we already have like 5 books coming out, and
Yes.
then we have a few more officially confirmed to come out after that. It seems a little bold, but I'm hoping it pays off. Mostly, what I think is give me good Batman. I'm so excited for that Batman.
Yeah, I think the biggest key to success here
Hmm.
is it's kind of in the middle. New 52 just exploding because that was our main universe. 52 fucking different books. Half of
Yeah,
them gone within issue 6 or 12. Uh, Earth 1 too slow.
yeah,
Not bringing
yeah.
enough. So I think the key is to consistently come out with issues like they have planned. I think the
Hmm.
biggest thing too is quality, like you said. It's always a thing. Is really nailing the big three. If they can
Yes.
nail each one of those, that will
Hmm.
be the success. See, Ultimate Universe, they gave a little bit more leeway where they're like, Ultimate Spider-Man was the huge breakout. Literally, still
Yeah,
selling that first fucking issues on like the 8th reprint.
yeah.
It's a big
Love it.
success. If
It
Batman
deserves it.
does the same, if Batman
Hmm.
is able to get that explosion of not only popularity but also critical success, where everybody's like, "No, you got to read this," and people who haven't read comics in a few years are like, "Oh shit, this is good." Like New 52 Batman did. That will be a huge success. Even bigger success if they hit all three. If Superman
Yeah,
becomes a major read again, or if
yeah.
somehow Wonder Woman, which hasn't been like it's been a consistently selling decent title, but to become a bestseller and stay there,
Yeah.
I think that would be the biggest success where that's how they can expand. But I think they have a good game plan where you said there's like 5 or 6 titles coming out the first year.
Hmm.
I think that's good because it's not all coming out at once, and
Yeah.
it's key characters. Everybody knows who the Flash is. Everybody knows who Superman, Batman, all that. Martian Manhunter, I feel, is the biggest risk, but also a lot of
Yeah.
people know him. Um, so I think that's the biggest thing is that they're coming out with known characters, whereas Ultimates,
Hmm.
I think, is taking more risks with like X Men not being the X Men we know. I think that's really
Yeah.
unique. I think that DC should do that, but maybe
Yeah.
with Justice League, not the Justice League we know. It doesn't have to be this Justice League that we always get. Then I think that's a risk. But if they do that after the success of these, Justice
Hmm.
League can be a prominent title again. I haven't had the urge to read a fucking Justice League book in like literally 6 7 years.
Yeah, me neither. And I feel like it's just because their like purpose is often so vague,
Mhm.
and often the villains they fight are just so big and bombastic that they don't really it seems like they often don't tell stories that like would connect with people. You know, it's just like this thing is super evil and it's going to take over the universe. Whereas like I don't know. I feel like Marvel's Avengers in various runs they do a good job of grounding everything they do in something compelling, whether it's like Civil War or Bendis's run making them more of like a family slash a business, which I thought was interesting, and then Hickman's run being an epic, but somehow never losing the like fundamental themes that made it so interesting, you
Yeah.
know?
What I think actually DC would benefit from, I don't know if they're going to do this, but I
Yeah.
feel like if they're going to make a Justice League of this absolute universe, make
Hmm.
it an event. We don't. You
Yes.
don't need it to be
Yes.
a long running.
Fuck yeah.
There's a reason, even though Ultimates, the original Ultimates, feels outdated now. There's a
Yeah.
reason that title sold so well, and so many people of my generation and
Absolutely.
your generation, all our generations, read it. Is because it
Mhm.
was an event. Like it was an
Yeah.
event to see these characters come together like a movie.
Yeah.
And Justice League could do the same thing. Make it an event. Make it the Justice League event
Yeah.
for this universe at the end of year one or in the year and a half, whatever it is. Because I feel like that wouldn't interfere with their titles that much, because you can
Hmm.
read that as an event. You know these characters are darker, whatever,
I agree.
and it can be a lot of fun. And so, if they're going to do a Justice League for that universe, I think they should do it that way, because the Justice League that they're bringing in now, I think
Hmm.
Mark Waid is a perfect fit, seeing as how his Batman Superman title has been absolutely one of the best
Yeah.
fucking running series in like the last 3 years. He
Mhm.
gets a dynamic. He gets dynamic really well. Of the back and forth, he made literally probably one of the most iconic Justice League stories with oh my god, the
Kingdom
one
Come.
well, Kingdom Come, but the one with Batman, where he has a contingency plan for
Oh,
everything.
Tower of Babel.
Yeah, like he literally made some of the biggest Justice League storylines, and for him to what he's doing now is amazing. So to see him do the Justice League as a main story again is great, and I can't
Hmm.
wait for that. But I don't want the same for the Absolute Universe. I want,
I completely agree.
yeah, like give
I
it an
think make
event,
it a major event.
yeah,
Make it a major event.
and
Uh,
that way it's not a fucking Earth-ending event either. It's gathering the heroes to fight some big fucking force.
I think that's what it's going to be. I think the first big event is going to be like the uniting of the Justice League and maybe like learning about their parallels in the main universe. I
Yeah,
think it's going to be that, and I think we're going to see like happy. I think we're going to see this young, edgy, like this young, angry, defiant punk rock Bruce, who's a bit of a loner, like fight side by side with the main DC Batman, who is now a more well-rounded, integrated family man, and I think he's like it's going to influence him, and I think it's going to influence all of them. Like they're going to see Diana, Wonder Woman as like
kind and
this
compassion.
symbol of love. Yeah, and I think all of them are going to be like, maybe we should stop going to Hot Topic.
Yeah. Well, I think it'll be interesting because they'll see this other side of them, and
Yeah.
maybe they don't want to be that, but they want to be like a part. Like part of them wants to be that. Like you said, like Bruce
Yeah.
being a family man, having this Bruce maybe distant from all his sidekicks or using them as a way to fight crime, and then learning maybe they're just not like co-workers or soldiers.
Yeah.
They're people that he can actually get close to. Superman understanding that sometimes, you know, being accepting is the only way for other people to accept him, or Wonder Woman being his god of war, which I think she'll
Yeah.
be the one to start the Justice League, and the reason why Batman will join and be like, oh, this bitch is crazy, let's do it. Like big ass sword and everything. He's like, yeah, I got my axe on my chest. I'd love to see that type of synergy going on. Superman just being this fucking crazy force of power. Those three leading the
Yeah.
charge,
Aaron said that his powers are going to be different.
which is crazy to me because
Yeah.
that's like the iconic thing with Superman. Even when he was Red Sun, even when he was in Earth One, he still had the same powers. So having him totally different, that sounds fucking cool to me.
Yeah. We'll see.
But yeah. Anyway, any last thoughts on the universe now that we've talked an hour about it?
I don't know. I mean, I'm just gonna reiterate. I cannot wait for this Batman, and I really hope that they lean into the angry, defiant, youthful energy the story seems like it'll have. I hope that they don't drown him in Robins and Bat people. You know how I think that the Bat family is oversaturated, even if you can tell great stories with all of them. And I hope that they really take their time. And I hope that we spend just as much time with Bruce as we do Batman, and we get to like see Gotham City from this younger man's perspective. And also, like, I'm intrigued to see what made him Batman, because it sounds like Snyder is suggesting that it was something different. Like, and I'm very excited for all the villains.
I am interested if they do go the Robin route, where they have multiple Robins already, that it's his gang, not like it's like
Yeah, yeah.
like having
I can see that.
yeah, like and it would be fucking cool to see like Batman jump in there and all these little fucking Robins fucking following him. It'd be scary.
If absolutely, that's
Imagine seeing
yeah.
fucking all these Robins behind, like, what the
No,
fuck?
I agree, and I actually think, well, that's what I would do. Like if I was allowed to do like my own like alternate universe, I would have them be like a trained unit that works together,
Yeah,
because it's like I feel like it just makes so much more sense to not go into these situations alone.
yeah.
So
I would
that'd
find
be
it
cool.
interesting too if there's no villains for Batman, like in the beginning, like they're just too scared until
Hmm.
something like the Joker comes. I know you don't want Joker right away, but something like
Hmm.
Joker comes where it's chaos and he's just
Yeah,
off the walls, and it inspires villains to be like, oh no, the Batman is beatable, and this starts the change for him. And Batman uses brute force and violence this whole time,
hmm,
loses somehow, trapped or whatever, and this inspires other villains to be like, oh, he's just a human, you know,
yeah,
because like you always say, I want that myth angle. Like he's so
yeah,
scary that people don't even fucking start like robbing people. There's like, fuck it, I got a nine
yeah,
to
yeah.
five. I think that would be really cool to see. Yeah, I mean, there's so many things they can do really that I'm very interested in, and
His rope gallery is going to be so interesting, just because like you can do so many different things.
yeah,
You know,
yeah, and you
like
could change them too.
yeah, like I wonder if we're gonna get like a rich Joker, like a socialite rich Joker to contrast with like everyman Bruce Springsteen Batman,
Yeah, we
or
don't
like if
even
Court of
need.
Owls.
Yeah, we don't even really
You know?
need like a super like chaotic Joker. We can have a
Mhm.
very like cunning piece of shit Joker, uh, that maybe during the day plays a fool and is actually really a smart piece of shit. They can do so many things. They can mix it up
Ooh,
any way they want.
ooh. What if he's not a person, but like an organization or a business, where it's like perhaps a wealthy organization has, like rich people get bored and do crazy shit like fucking going in submarines to the Titanic. What if, and then you have the sick fucks on Epstein Island. What if the Joker catered to people like that are looking for thrills, and if you wear a like Joker mask or Joker makeup, it somehow makes you immune to surveillance footage and to like forensics, and it's just different like super wealthy indulging in their most like depraved violent fantasies.
So like it's more of a like a symbol, like a way
it's,
to.
it's like a service. I don't know, like maybe there's a corporation and that's just like, hey, do you want to purge it up like the movies The Purge? Put on this Joker mask and you'll be able to do it. And it's going to be like different sick people that are spending their money to have like complete anonymity and immunity from the law.
And cause chaos.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no, that can be great. That's the type of thing I want to see in this universe.
Irony.
Crazy. Yeah, I know. Watch DC's like, well, we gotta take this down because he just spoiled fucking Euro 2. So goodbye. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm very excited. Batman comes out October.
Which book are you most excited for?
Um, Most confident I am is in Batman to be a stellar title, but the two I'm most excited to read, definitely Superman. I'm always excited to see if they nail a Superman different enough, and Flash, because current Flash is not for me. So
Fair, fair. I heard it's good, but very,
fucking weird, man. I can't get
very
behind this
weird.
shit.
It's like a horror book, right?
Goddamn Simon Spurr. I love him, but I also don't understand half the shit he writes. So it's just
Fair.
so much mumble
Fair.
jumble shit. Yeah, I mean, if I sat down and really like focused and like, I don't know, I just can't. I just want a Flash comic where he saves people, he's super fast, and it looks cool. That's all I want. Um,
So
but
it's Jeff Lemire.
yeah, Jeff
It's
Lemire.
gonna have a family dynamic. It's gonna be like a some sort of like broken family. What if the Reverse Flash is his dad, who ran to the store to get milk and never came back, and he's running for all the milk, and Wally is trying to catch him, but he seems to never be able to catch him.
Well, I was actually thinking it would be cool if like he was Flash and his brother was Zoom, and you had that
Ooh,
dynamic where they come up as heroes.
ooh,
but then one goes
Ooh.
one way, one goes the other. I like that type of family
Ooh.
drama, you know,
That would be fucking
right?
cool.
It would be fun.
You pitched a lot of good ideas
I
today,
know.
Dan.
Fuck DC. Hire me, damn it. Give me my money. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Watch Jeff Lemire sends a message. Please take that down because that was my fucking idea. But yeah, no, I'm most intrigued by Superman and the Flash, but confident, almost for sure that Scott Snyder is going to kill Batman the same way that Hickman is killing Ultimate Spider-Man. Absolutely one of the best titles in all comics, not just Marvel. I think Snyder's going to come in, rejuvenate it, and have that good Snyder back, that new 52 Batman, that first arc of Batman, literally one of the greatest arcs ever. So yeah,
At Black Mirror, just as good too, even before that.
Yeah, fuck New 52. Black Mirror is absolutely one of my
Black
favorite
Mirror,
comics of all time.
so fucking good.
Yeah, so just do that. Just do that, Snyder. Give us that. Snyder actually might watch this. He sometimes sends me messages. So Snyder, if you're watching,
wait, really?
yeah,
Oh,
he's
dude,
done that twice.
Scott.
One time when I said All-Star Batman wasn't good, he sent me a message saying, "So sorry that you didn't enjoy it," and I felt bad.
I actually like All-Star Batman.
He does. He really does, because he's the one who told me about it. I read. I didn't like it. He's like, "I love this."
The Two-Face arc, especially, was so good.
Yeah, you like that train scene and all that. Scott Snyder is always a writer. Always a writer I'll read, whether I like it or I don't. He comes with ideas where I'm like, it didn't work for me, or I absolutely love it. And that's why I'm gonna, American Vampire. Those first few arcs are some of the best Vertigo comics of all time.
Yes.
And just give me that. Just give me that, Scott. Just come in and give it to me. Wow, that sounds a little dirty. But okay. Anyway, this is now an hour and 5 minutes long. But I hope you guys enjoy. I would love to see your guys' opinion. What do you want to see from this universe? What are you most excited for? Is it Batman? If it's not, why? And yeah, let us know below. And what else do you want to see? What would you like to see outside of the stuff that's been announced or rumored? List that below. And I hope you guys enjoy and say bye-bye.
Yeah, I hope you have an absolutely good day. Back to you.
Jesus Christ.